Anora was directed by Sean Baker as well as written by him and stars Mikey Madison as Anora, a sex worker from Brooklyn who works her nights at a club in New York City. And during one of these shifts, she meets Ivan, played by Mark Edelstein, who is immediately infatuated with her. He wants to see her again, and eventually, as the two do end up doing so, they form a genuine bond, and that leads to a relationship between the two. However, Ivan's family is not very approving of this union, and what happens after that, I'm not going to say too much about. You're just going to have to see the movie for yourself. What I've given you is the basic premise leading into everything else. This movie won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. That's a pretty big statement. When you hear that, immediately you want to see this movie and hear what all the buzz is about. And I've been waiting since that time to see the movie. And I finally got this chance to see it last night. And one thing that I really love about Sean Baker going in as well is how he manages to take stories of people who are really just average citizens like you and me, going through their typical 9 to 5, or at least trying to, and providing a sense of humanity to the things that oftentimes in real life you don't often think about. And some of the more stigmatized people every now and then you'll hear of are sex workers, which is why making a movie around one and also just tapping into the life of a sex worker makes perfect sense. It's a movie that doesn't want you to start doing your debates over whether or not it's ethically right or wrong. It just wants you to realize that they're human beings too, and look into the trials and tribulations of being a sex worker. And in that sense, I don't think you're gonna find a greater ode to that than Anora. This is a phenomenal movie, and it absolutely deserves every little bit of praise that it has gotten, especially when it comes to Mikey Madison, who is incredible in this movie. I would honestly go as far as to say this is my favorite performance of the year. She is magnificent in every frame of it, from the dialogue delivery to just the amount that she has to deal with as the movie goes on. You're seeing the emotions on her face just consistently change. So much she's able to convey with just a twitch of an eye. She does an extraordinary job in this movie, and she absolutely deserves every bit of praise that she's getting, and I wouldn't be surprised if it even leads to an Oscar nomination, because it really, really should. And I think that would be the best decision to make when it comes to her work over here. Not that the supporting cast around her isn't great even. They're all really good too. Like Mark Edelstein, who plays Ivan, is very funny in the movie. Apparently journalists have dubbed him the Russian Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, you kind of see it, don't you? Like, in fact, while we were watching the movie, I was like, in another timeline, they cast Timothy Chalamet as this character, but well, I guess that's what we're doing. It's just weird how brains make connections like that sometimes. Also, for as serious as the movie can get when it comes to dealing with the situations that it is, it's also incredibly funny. This is a lot of fun to watch. Like, as certain situations go on, I don't think there was a lot of points in the movie where we weren't laughing. There was a lot of times where there were genuine jokes and comedic beats that Baker puts in throughout. However, he also understands that there are moments where it's time to be serious. And those tonal shifts, I would say, are very, very well done. Like, you know when to laugh, you know when to feel sad, and the movie captures all of that in great ways. It's very similar in that sense to something like The Florida Project. When you were watching it for a while, it's very fun and you're getting to spend the time with these kids and Willem Dafoe and everything seems okay. But then at some point, the other shoe drops and things have to get a little more intense and, you have to deal with some larger situations. And that's something that is in this movie as well. It very much lets you in on the world and her life. And then eventually, after knowing Ivan for a while and the relationship between the two of them, things shift. And again, it's just a testament to how well constructed the movie is that it's able to pull off all of that. It's also gorgeously shot. Some of the best cinematography of the year by far. Some wonderful moments that are put to film over here. And I think in some places, even 35mm screenings are happening. If those are in your area, go for them. They are gonna probably look amazing on celluloid. And a great soundtrack as well. Some really, really great use of music. Lots of time spent at the club, so you're gonna hear that. But even from the opening needle drop, to the final, one, which is later in the movie. It's all very, very well utilized. It also has one of the best final shots of the year. That's all I'll say about that. I don't want to give too much away about it. I haven't stopped thinking about this movie since seeing it last night. I think it is genuinely one of the best movies of the year, and it's a very special movie. But again, it just goes back to the humanity that is provided in this movie. This look into the life of a sex worker that oftentimes people have a side eye to. But at the same time, again, the movie is not interested in you wanting to have debates about this. It's very simply telling you that at the end of the day, sex workers, flesh and blood, people like you and me, they're just people. And they have to deal with all the stuff that a lot of times we have to deal with. And just finding and just tapping into that and providing the compelling character study that it does makes for a very, very great film. And one that I absolutely recommend watching. I have really zero issues with this movie. I was riveted from start to finish. It pulled off everything that it needed to beautifully. It might go a little too long for some people. I don't think it went long at all. I think it's paced exactly as it needed to be. It's as long as it needs to be. I don't think you can cut out or change anything over here. I think every moment was needed, and it pulled it off as best as it could. And for that reason, I'm gonna give Anora a well-deserved 10 out of 10. This movie will be out in theaters this week, but it will also be in more places nationwide, I think 25th October. So if you have not seen the movie yet, you're going to have a chance to see it very, very soon. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos. There's a lot over the next few days you're going to see from me. Looking forward to sharing all of that with you. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.